Colored stone engagement rings have really gained in popularity the last couple of years for a few different reasons. One, there's definitely a trend for couples to want to spend a little bit less money than they have in years past. The popularity for lab diamonds has really put diamonds kind of in a questionable state in some people's minds, so they want something a little bit more unique. And a colored stone does give a lot of opportunity for uniqueness and to be able to tell your own story. There are so many different colored gemstones on the market, it can be hard to know which one is best for you. Here are some amazing colored gemstones that make excellent engagement rings. The first gemstone on the list is arguably already probably one of the most popular colored gems other than diamonds for engagement rings, and that is a sapphire. Sapphires are part of the gem species corundum, and ruby is actually also corundum, so it is technically a red sapphire, and they also make an excellent choice for engagement rings. The reason sapphire is such an excellent choice is because it is a 9 on the Mohs hardness scale, and it also has excellent toughness. So this is the gemstone that is probably the most durable for daily wear and tear. If you want to learn more about hardness and toughness, definitely check out our video on the Mohs hardness scale. The other thing that makes sapphires such an amazingly versatile choice for an engagement ring is their wide color range. So any color that is not a blue sapphire is referred to as a fancy colored sapphire, and the color variety is amazing. They come in pink, yellow, orange, and even some other colors that are definitely not as popular, including green and purple. Other than blue and rubies, of course, yellow and pink sapphires are definitely the most popular, and they're also going to be at the top of the price range. What I will say about colors like purple and green is that they will offer you a very unique stone and amazing engagement ring, but definitely don't get caught into paying too much, because while they're unique and rare, the reason why is because the demand for them is quite low, so definitely use that to your advantage. If you want something extra unique, sapphires also come in some phenomenal varieties like star sapphires and even color change sapphires. Now that would make an amazingly unique engagement ring, and to learn more about that, definitely check out our sapphire playlist. The thing that I'll say about choosing a sapphire engagement ring is that it's great for people who are still a little bit on the fence about not having a diamond, because they want something that still stands out as having that kind of wow factor. The amazing thing about sapphires is that they're so historical. They're always going to be very relevant. They still have that cachet of value and kind of being very sought after. And the other thing is that they are great investments. If you do have a sapphire engagement ring, they are an amazing long-term investment, and if anything, they're only going to rise in value. Next on the list is Spinel, and Spinel is an amazing gemstone. It's really well known in the gem industry and with jewelers for being an amazingly beautiful stone. It definitely does also have some historical relevance. A lot of red Spinel was confused with ruby throughout the past centuries, but the thing with Spinel is that it still hasn't really caught on in popularity, so that can be a good thing because you'll definitely have something that's very unique, but they can be a little bit difficult to source. While most colored gemstones are actually doubly refractive, something that's extra unique about Spinel is that, similar to diamond, it's only singly refractive, and this tends to make gemstones very sparkly. They are very high on the refractive index, actually higher than sapphire, and this means that they reflect light very well. So they tend to be, like I said, very sparkly. They have a lot of brilliance to them, and they definitely kind of have that diamond-like shine if they are high quality and well cut. Spinel is also an 8 on the Mohs hardness scale. This is an excellent hardness for daily wear, and as I mentioned, they do come in amazing shades of red. You can also find them in pink and blue, very similar to sapphire, but they also have some unique color choices. You can find them in kind of dark gray colors, kind of lavender, dark purples. I also love this for someone who loves the idea of a black diamond, someone who loves those darker colors, but with black diamonds, they tend to be color treated and they lose a lot of light reflection and brilliance. Often they are even opaque black, whereas a dark colored Spinel is still going to give you that sparkle and kind of glittery appearance. So this is a really cool option for someone who wants that darker color. To learn more about Spinel, definitely watch our video on 5 things to know about Spinel gemstones. Garnets are next on the list, and this may surprise you because maybe when you think of garnets, you only think of those kind of dark muddyish red gemstones that you see in a lot of mass market jewelry stores, but garnets are actually extremely versatile and they actually do come in a lot of amazing colors. They're a 7.5 on the Mohs hardness scale, and a lot of their colors actually rival other gemstones that are much more expensive. So for example, green garnets, tsavorite, and demontoid garnets, they can look just as beautiful as emeralds, but they tend to have a lot more shine and sparkle and less inclusions than emerald, which can definitely be a plus. Just like Spinel, they are high on the refractive index and singly refractive. So again, if they are well cut and have good tone and saturation, you can have amazing garnets that really have a lot of brilliance and sparkle that will really surprise you. Especially when you get into some of the lighter hues and tones of garnet, even yellowish, orangish, pinkish, you can really get those sunset colors of garnet. You really get a lot of good light reflection. You can even have stones that rival Padparadscha sapphire, rubies, pink sapphires, lots of beautiful shades. So this is definitely a stone that is worth exploring. And again, it can be hard to source some of these rare colors of garnet, but if you work with a specific jeweler or gem dealer, they can really help you source some of these really amazing stones. Next on the list is the Beryl family of gemstones, and I'm putting this entire species as next because there are a lot of very popular and great varieties that are beryl, including emerald, aquamarine, and morganite. These three stones are pretty popular and they have definitely risen in popularity for engagement rings, and they're around a 7.5 to an 8 on the Mohs hardness scale. So emerald can be a little bit more brittle and they are definitely a little bit more included. So sometimes they are listed as being too soft for engagement rings, but if you get them in good qualities, they're definitely good for daily wear. Aquamarine, you get those beautiful colors of blue. You can have very light tones and much more saturated shades of blue. And then with morganite, you get those beautiful peachy pink colors. The saturated pinks are definitely going to be the most high value and expensive, but you can also get stones that also rival something like a pink sapphire or a Padparadscha sapphire with those more sunset tones as well. I love these three varieties because they're never going to go out of style. These colors are classic, they're beautiful gems, they are always going to be considered valuable, and because of their popularity, they are very accessible, so they are definitely great stones because they're a little bit easier to find. To learn more about each of these varieties and how they compare to some other gems, definitely check out our Beryl playlist. Last but definitely not least, I had to add colored diamonds to the list because they do qualify as colored gemstones and they're great for people who still want the cachet of having a diamond, but definitely want something a little bit more different. I mentioned lab diamonds earlier, and one of the definite pluses of lab diamonds is that now colored diamonds are a lot more accessible and easier to find. At one time, having a colored diamond was basically for the 1%. They were extremely expensive and very difficult to source. But now, colors of diamonds like pinks and blues, which again, one of the rarest stones on earth, can definitely be found at an amazing price. So if you're open to lab diamonds and you want some of those beautiful colors with all the pluses of a diamond, being a 10 on the Mohs hardness scale, amazing toughness, amazing hardness, the sparkle, and all the durability of a wonderful diamond, you can definitely get them in amazing colors too. If you'd really prefer a natural diamond, you can definitely look at colors like yellows and browns and some of the in-between shades as well. Sometimes even a light brown diamond that's set in rose gold can have a really beautiful rosy kind of pinky effect. And even the yellows can really range from a dark saturated yellow that is almost an orange to a very light kind of sunset sunlight yellow, which can be really pretty too. Now with the prices of natural diamonds coming down significantly in the last few years as well, these more natural colored diamonds that were kind of discarded in the past are definitely going to come back in popularity, and now would be a great time to scoop them up at a good price. I have two colored gemstones that I'm going to add as honorable mentions. The first one is tourmaline. Tourmaline I love. It is such a unique and beautiful stone. It's definitely doubly refractive with a high birefringence, which means it definitely has those kind of doubling colors. So sometimes you look at it and it can show two shades. This is very unique and special, but the one thing to know about tourmaline is that it is a little bit lower in toughness and hardness, and they can be very sensitive to heat and light. So tourmaline is a little bit tricky because it's definitely less durable for daily wear. It's probably not the best for someone who wants to wear their engagement ring 24 hours a day, every day, but you can have some amazingly unique stones. The second honorable mention is Alexandrite. If you want to learn more about this stone, definitely check out our video on color change gemstones. Alexandrite's amazing because it has amazing historical relevance. It is such a unique and special stone. It has good toughness, good hardness, but I didn't add it to the list only because at this point Alexandrite is so rare and so expensive that it's even more difficult and usually more expensive to purchase than even emerald and some of the other highest quality, high value gemstones. So if you want something that's even more rare and more special than diamond, Alexandrite could be for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more engagement ring ideas, definitely check out our engagement ring playlist for other ideas of gemstones and design ideas. And also check out our female designer video for some really special ways to source unique engagement rings, and our video on tone and saturation to learn more about the qualities you should be looking for when sourcing a colored gemstone.